live? We are live. Okay, so, been a while. I am back from vacation. I got in yesterday. So I thought today we'd do a little stream. We'd do a little streamy stream. Just to, get back in the game, right? And I don't really want to do, like, a big project. I don't really want to do, like, a project that's going to go, like, a while. But so today, because I'm just getting back into the coding game, and I'm just, I've been off for in the sense of, like, I'm just getting started again. I'm still jet lagged to fuck. So yeah, but so today we're going to be refactoring a project I found online, and I found this project like ages ago. So it's not just like I woke up today, found the project, and that's what we're doing today. I have a couple of things that I really want to do. I want to do like a pre-stream to do app. I want to refactor the password manager we've been working on, add some features that are very useful. I want to do like a full installer of things, like applications that I release. But these are all things that are like, one, I don't know if they're going to do well content-wise. Two, I don't know if they're going to do, they're going to be, like, something that I can genuinely do in terms of, like, skill. And then, like, three, like, again, I just want to sort of start something small and kind of work my way up to these big projects. So today we're going to be refactoring a system shutdown thing written in Go. I did not write this initial code right off the bat. This code, it was written by somebody else, and I found it to be messy as fuck. So I thought, you know what? Let's just refactor it, because this is something that I kind of need to have. I have other projects that work with this library. Work with this library in the sense of like they're projects that would be improved by having this functionality. Yeah. So I think that is enough explanation for today. I believe we can just go to the desktop. So right now I just have the basic. Okay, so then we'll do bin build. Release. We just have the basic hello world set up, and so all I've done to this is I've sort of split out the common functionality of it. I've split out each of the different functionalities, different commands that you can do within this library, and I've added a build script and just some like helper building functions. I've also created a hello world. That is it. That is all I've done to this project. Now, what I kind of want to do is do a meta toml, write my own meta toml, so that like when I come back to this library, I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna say, whoopsie. We're gonna say project. Name is, what are we gonna call this? The original was just called Shutdown. It's like system shutdown with a hyphen. Like here, okay, so I'll show you the original project. So this is the original project. Again, I did not make this code. I think, yeah, maybe I'll post it in the chat. Okay, so, here we go. So, I just want to refactor this, because I think that this will be a good, and I'll show you what I mean by refactor. So let's post this in the chat. This is the original code. Chat. Oh, and okay, so then what I also want to do, I probably should have done this pre-stream, but I was kind of rushing to start this up, is I want to do, where the fuck am I going? Okay, alright, so let's go to app data, bullock spot, settings, and let's, open. Alright, I think the project command is going to be updated And then we're going to be updating the to-do command, which is, I think, right, what is this? Yeah, okay, so I guess refactoring a system shutdown application. I think that's good enough, right? And then the author of this, we gotta give credit. Whoops. Is this guy. This guy right here. Whoops. There we go. Description is a system shutdown command application written. We're gonna sort of try and make this not a Golang applicate, like 100% Golang, because as well as in my build system kata, right? There's this whole command structure that's like, it's well written and well tested. So I kind of want to use that instead. You'll see what I mean in a second. I also have like, so this on Windows loads DLLs in the original code, and I have a C library to essentially load and unload DLLs. So I think I'm going to switch to that. And then we're going to say type is, of course, an application. Where's the project version? The minor is 1. And we're going to say the URLs. Repository is, I have to copy this again. There we go. We're going to say, we try and credit people that write this code as much as I can. And then we'll say commands, I guess, which are scripts, which is equal to, whoops, been built with a release flag, and run is bin run name. Or no, I guess we could just do release, because we're going to keep this as main for right now. So then those commands are so I can just say meta, and then it'll read the commands and it'll run everything logged as well. Just so that we don't get like warnings for like compiling. I think that's it. Okay, so let's actually get into the main juice of this, you know? So just as it is, right? So if we go to the different, I think, right, so also what I think I'm going to do is just kind of delete the everything other than the Windows implementations. Just because I think that we're just going to work on Windows today, and we will look at all of the different ways that we can refactor this in other videos, in other streams, right? I'm on a Windows machine, that just makes sense, so I think the best option for me is to just work on Windows for right now. So now, this is the heart of the application, the common Windows file, and as you can see, it's a fucking mess. It is a fucking mess, right? Why it's a fucking mess? We have this Golang no inspection, right? So we're just telling the compiler, hey, just don't worry about it. We know what we're doing. Why? Plus, it's a global. Request privileges. Look at the sort of responsibility of request privileges. It has to open a process. It has to get the current process. It has to look up the privileges of said process, access an array, and then return any sort of error after it adjusts the token for the privileges. And then as well, set suspend state. Look at this shit. Not to mention we're using an like sort of magic init. What? Like, look at all this shit. The responsibility of each of the functions are without the scope of suspend state, right? And the main function that we're using, right, if we go back to like sleep, is suspend state. And look at this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, right, so, and then in shutdown, it uses exit window. So, and the errors we're getting is because we don't have a common package with this. So I think what I'm going to be doing is sort of, I think the first thing we can do is add, so let's just upgrade direct and transitive dependencies, and then we're gonna be using Go 126, because I can. Let's do Go mod tidy. I think that'll work. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we're just gonna be calling this shutdown. It's gonna be a local package, because I don't want to, you know, I don't know if that overrides anybody's sort of like, you know, if I did not mean to run Go vuln check. Sure. But right, so I think what I want to do is also named returns. Named returns are probably the worst thing you can do in Golang. Right? Specifically because it works under the hood as a way of, like, I don't know if you're shadowing, right? I had it explained to me at one point, but like probably the worst thing you can do in Golang is have a named return. It sort of shadows everything else that, like, so if you have, like here, like look, right? So error. This check doesn't work because we are just, right, so we have an error and you're just returning an error. You're assigning error to the named return. How does that make sense? You know? So I think what I want to do is, let's see, like the point is, like, I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? Well, okay, so I think what I can do is, first of all, we're gonna do go build Windows. Whoops. Is so that, like, everything isn't built on Linux. Like if we have a Linux or a Mac OS, whatever, we don't have a Windows machine. This is not gonna like build this binary and like crash. So that's, I think, the first thing we can do, and we'll do this on each. So go build Windows, and add that everywhere. Go build Windows. And the reason this is different to like Goland accept, right, is because in terms of system design, is because this is like adding in C, right? If you ever use C, this is like adding just if def win32, right? And that's fine, right? Okay. So I think where I want to start is just kind of just going into the common and like growing the thick of it. You know what I mean? I think because I have sort of like a way to like load DLLs. I have a loader package. I think that's the best thing I'm gonna do, and I sort of want to make this into like a C package. So we're gonna import C, and we're just going to generate go definite. And like, so the reason, like what you can do, refactor this, is just make one executable that in C or whatever, that just runs a system command and you're fine, right? Runs like but that is one, not secure at all, because you're literally just sending a system command. Two, it seems too easy. You know what I mean? Like that, it just seems a little too easy to me. If you are going to genuinely make an application and have it be the functionality that you want. Just sending like a system command, like forking out to a different command. No. You know, like just, I want the challenge of this. You know, I want the challenge of having it be like secure and correct and something that I can go in and look at every different system, every different part of the command that I'm running, instead of just running a command and just having it be this sort of hand wavy, this is what it's doing, trust me bro kind of thing. You know what I mean? And I found I had that same thought that I just was talking about like a year ago or whatever. The original code I looked at, it is written here, let's go to the repository, like 3 years ago. It looks, it was the last commit. So yeah, 3 years ago. So like I found this about a year ago, having that thought of, I want like an application where I could control how my system is shut down or rebooted or slept, I think is the correct grammar, don't quote me on that. And hibernate. I didn't know that Windows could hibernate. You know what I mean? I didn't know that you could hibernate a PC until I looked into this package. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make I think a load DLL, right? So defer function. Okay, so that does errors join. All right, so first, you know what I want to do is see if this is even possible for a second. So we're going to comment that out. Plus, you know, I think also making this multi-threaded will be a huge boost to the performance. And that's what I think we're going to do by adding the C file. So we're going to create a comment here. And we're going to say, let's define, so this is like writing a C file. We're going to define, is it command, or no, loader implementation. And we're going to include, and I think just kind of like making a DLL just for shits, right? So let's do, I guess, hello.h, right? Yeah, I guess, right. So we'll do include standard IO, and we'll do, no, we'll do, say, void hello const name. Yeah, so this will just say like hello. Yeah, so we'll do printf hello new line and name. That I think is just going to be the DLL, and then we'll just say void hello const name. Okay, so I just want to make a DLL. I have forgotten actually how to even make a DLL, so let's see where. Make a DLL in C. DLL export. I just need the compile for it. Yeah. Okay. So shared. Okay. So let's copy this. Okay. So let's do that. We'll say hello.c, and we'll say hello.dll. Let's see. Okay, so we have a DLL now. Awesome. Okay, so now in main, we're gonna say include kata c or kata lib c loader h. I think is what that is, and then we'll do include hello dot h. Okay. And then right? And I think you have to do like a DLL at runtime. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we'll say huh. C load. Okay, so let's actually go to loader h and see. So we'll go to build kata. Oh, this is in build. Okay. Build kata lib c loader.h. Okay, so we have loader load, which takes a path, and then we load a function of a void pointer, and then we delete it. Okay. So that's good. So we'll do c.loader load. Oh, and I mistakenly loader load. What is the definition of loader load? Okay, so that gets the handle, if I'm correct, right? So that gets a handle, and then you need to pass the handle there. Okay. All right. Well, let's look. So Golang load DLL at runtime. Or I guess no. C load DLL at runtime. Windows. Right, so load library, right? And then just get the address. Okay, so we'll say, I guess, Golang or Cgo void pointer. Moves directly to a Go type. Okay. So it's an unsafe pointer. Print in to an unsafe pointer. Okay. So I guess the type var the pointer c void. And we call that, I guess, library. And the path is going to be ./hello.dll. I think that just works. Right? And then fmt print line library. There we go. We're going to save and build. No such file. Believe that is bullshit. Okay, so we have build kata lib c loader.h. I keep hitting the wrong. Build kata. Right? Build. Is that it? No such file. Oh, do I? Okay, so I think I have to go to the parent directory. Is that? Yeah, okay. So I have to go to the parent directory, which is fine. Could not determine what it refers to. What? documentation. Then we have loader.h, c.loader load. Okay. Oh, library load. Okay, not loader load. Library load. Oh, okay, and then I also have to do, let's see, so var path, which is a, my monitor's been shaking whenever, and I'm not like slamming my keyboard, but my monitor keeps doing that, right? So we'll do a pointer to C char, which is equal to go, or C dot, right? Is it go string? I keep forgetting this shit. C go string to C char. Right, C dot C string. There we go. C string, and it is dot dot slash hello dot DLL. I just want to see if like I can like load a DLL in this, and then we have to defer free I just got a text message, I apologize. Defer C free, right? And then we have to C free unsafe pointer of path. And then this will take in path. I believe that'll work. Use value of unsafe pointer. Right, so let's regenerate. Value as C void. Okay. Oh, so, okay, so it's an unsafe pointer. Could not load library path. Okay. Also, in library load, right? Okay, oh, that's C definitions. Loader, here we go. Yeah, we don't have new lines here. Oh. Well, that's interesting. There's no new lines here. I think I fixed that in a upcoming release of Kata, but we have no new lines, which I believe is hysterical. This does not free the path value. That's redundant. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right, because like here, like yeah. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so could not load library from path. Okay, so is it just hello.dll? I just want to load a DLL from C using my own library. Yes, okay. All right, so it's just from the root directory. Okay, so that's good. And then we want to say, I guess, C load DLL runtime Windows. Let's see. Okay, so cgo function pointer definition. Callback. Okay. Um, do I still need, like, the library, though? DLL at runtime. Alright, yeah, okay. And then add number function. I do need a type pointer. Okay. That's what I thought. Alright. So I don't know if I still need hello, right? Because then what I could do is say var, I guess, function, which is c.hello, right? Or no. Okay, so I think I'm just going to copy that out and say type def hello, right? We'll say void pointer to hello t, and which takes in, I guess, a const char pointer name, and that's a type def. Okay, and then we'll say c.hello, which is equal to, oh, and then we'll say that we'll have this here, path, okay, and we'll say name is my name for shits and gigs, name, say, oops, c dot library function. Is it library function? I probably should keep this open. It is library function, I believe. Yes, library function. Okay. Which takes in the library and the name of the function. Right. So then I also have to do this function, which is just hello. Which is function, and that is the function. Whoops. And then we're going to say function. We're going to call that with name. And I believe that just works. Let's see. Value of type unsafe pointer. Yeah, okay. Unsafe pointer. Okay, so then what is, right, library, and then library. Okay, so no, it's just an unsafe pointer. Value in, okay, Sego unsafe pointer to function pointer. Or vice versa, right? Okay. Because I know this is possible. I've done this before. Use C unsafe type value. Oh, I guess I can call this hello then. Maybe that's the problem? No, yeah, it's still... is not a function. Yes, it is. Um, I guess, okay, so what I could do is cgo load DLL at runtime. Yeah, okay, whatever. Process, I don't give a fuck. Because I don't want to statically link with the DLL. That's kind of the problem. And I know how I would do this in C. I just don't know how I do this in Go, right? Because Go is a little pain in my ass. So I guess, right? So C. Oh, okay. So Go load DLL at runtime. DLL, find the specific procedure, mod find procedure. Okay, and then from the call. Module at runtime. Yeah, okay. Calling a Windows DLL. What the fuck? Okay, so I guess unsafe pointer is not a function. Ah, but it is. C.hello. It's not an interface. Yeah, no, I understand that. Let's see. Okay, so but I know this is possible. That's the thing. I know this is possible. Shit. I guess what I could do is I could just make like a function in C to load the DLL, and then we could just proceed from there. Like, cause this is a lot of like C code that could be done, you know. Cause we're using system. Yeah, you know what? All right. So I think that's just what we're gonna do for right now. So I think what I'm going to do is rewrite this in C. Yeah. Because Go is being a pain in my ass. Because Go is being a pain in my ass. So we're gonna rewrite this in C. So I think right. Okay. So let's just say load. Yeah, load. Okay. Or I don't know. Hold on. So we're gonna rewrite common in C. So I think just maybe just common C. Common C. Yeah, I think that'll do. And then so I guess where's the root? What is the root of this function? Is you have to get shutdown name. Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't even know where to fucking start. Okay, so let's just load a DLL. Right, so we're gonna define loader implementation. I think that's where we start, right? Include build kata lib c loader and then int main void return 0. And we'll do I guess, right, so yeah, okay, so void pointer. Well, all right, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, I guess, a path. Should I make a path? No, because it already checks if it exists or not. So moot point whether I use a path or not. So yeah, let's do void pointer. I guess what I can do is do type def void hello t, right? And that's going to take in a const char pointer name. And so this is going to be void library, which is equal to library load. Path is hello.dll. And that'll fail if it doesn't work. And then we'll say library delete. We have to delete the library because it allocates memory on Windows, right? And then if not library delete. Hold on, I feel my chair sinking. So, and it's not. It just feels like I'm sinking, but it's not. But so my chair is like 2 or 3 years old, right? And it's you know, one of those chairs that are just Chinese made. You know what I'm talking about. And recently it has started sinking no matter where I sit on the chair, and I can't like take it apart to like strengthen any sort of bolts or like you know, and I've put on a C-clamp, you know, like a C-clamp bolt, and it just does not work. So I just have to deal with my chair sinking every once in a while, you know, or get a new chair. Which I have a few chairs around me. I might just switch to one of those. So if you see me with a new chair, you know why, right? So then library delete is, we'll just say library, and if that fails, then we're just going to return 1, but we're going to do fprintf into standard error. Cannot load library. Okay, so we're going to say const char pointer library name. Which is equal to hello.dll. And we're going to factor this out, right? So we'll say library name. Cannot load library send s new line. And that will be, or cannot delete library, sorry. Which is library. And I think that will be gcc main.exe, main.c, or no, this is common.c /main. Whoops. Cannot delete library. Why? Oh, because it's a pointer of a pointer. Never mind. Okay, all right, there we go. So that's fine. And then we'll say hello t, which is a function, or maybe I could just say hello, which is equal to library function, and I believe we have to cast this in C because it's just a void pointer. Hello C. Function of hello. Oh no, so it takes in the library. So that's the library, and then hello is the name, and that will fail, but then we can just call hello with, I guess, my name so that we have the library up and running. Yep. Okay, so that works. Great, cool. So we know where to load a library, and I think that's kind of where we're going to start because I think that's the root of the function, right? So, and then in call, so the process call. Okay. So I believe in Windows, right? So we're going to say set suspend state. Okay, so let's look up the documentation of set suspend state. I'm just going to pull up OBS so that I can open Chrome. I started really getting into like Zen mode in VS Code. Unfortunately, it hides the taskbar in Windows. So like other applications, you can't really open. And that's the point of Zen mode. But sometimes I close it, but whatever. Doesn't matter. So what set suspend state is the process. Set suspend state. palprof.h. Okay. So this returns a Boolean. Okay. And hibernate value is 1 or 0, which is what? Hibernate. So this is true. System hibernates. If the parameter is false, the system is suspended. Okay. And then force wake up or to say, okay. All right. So I think request privileges I can do first, right? So we're just going to comment this out. So we know how to load a DLL. And then I don't really care about function pointers at the moment. In terms of like, auto loading and pointer invalidation. That's not really what I'm after at this point. So Windows Open Process Token. So let's see. We're going to do Windows Open Process Token in C. We're going to look at the Windows documentation. A process handle. Okay, so what is the process handle passed in? Current process. Okay. So how do I get the current process? Windows get current process in C. I think I know how to do it in assembly. Yeah, because I think, that is the, that's the NT function that you just get current process when you're writing assembly. Right, okay, so I think just current process is fine. Okay, so then what do I have to have as, so let's, I think, if def win32. Okay, my chair is definitely fucking sinking. But it's not going up, meaning it's not sinking. I don't know, maybe it's just me being crazy. Okay, we're gonna define win32 lean and mean, and then we're going to include windows.h. There we go. Okay, and this still compiles. Great, cool, and yeah, it runs because we don't have anything yet. Yeah, okay, so then I think we'll make like a function to get the current process. So I think, right, so what is the current process taken? The current process takes in a handle. No, the current process doesn't take it, but it returns like a handle. So the return value, just the remarks, is the pseudo handle the current process? The pseudo handle is a special concept. Blah 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 blah. Ah, okay. So I have I have in kata a process. Yep, process type. Or a handle, I guess, right? Like a process type. Okay. Maybe I should update this library and add like current process. Because I think that'll be cool. Yeah. All right, so let's make a to-do here. Actually, let's put it in references. Let me go to my code, references. So we're gonna say process add current process to kata. Okay, and then I can delete that. All right, so then we just need to get the current process for right now on Windows, but I do intend to make it Linux based. Excuse me. Okay, so I think just, I guess, get the current process. Yeah, okay, so I think I'm just gonna write this in like Windows. So we'll say loader, and then I want to copy this. And we'll say define process implementation, and this is just kata process.h. Okay, so then we'll say process t get, or I guess current process is fine, and that will return, right? Okay, so say handle current, I guess process, which is equal to get current process. There you go. And that doesn't take any parameters. Return process t from the process. I think that works. Can I just return get current process? Is that something I can do? Get return get current process. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. And then of course, like, okay, so then we'll say else. So if we're not on Windows, then process current process, and we'll just say error get current process is only supported on Windows. Okay, that's fine for right now. And then, so now open process. So open process, we take in common, and then Windows, adjust privileges and token query, and then we need the token, of course. So the token handle, right? And then, so I think I should make like a get token to split out the responsibilities. That's what I was talking about earlier, is like I want to split out the responsibilities of all the functions and kind of make it more dynamic and diverse. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we want to say, I guess, okay, so what is a token? Token is a P handle. P handle. Because I'm an adult. To get extended information call, get last error. I will. Pointer to the handle that identifies any access to. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we got the access token, which is used in lookup privilege value. But how do I make this like generic to Windows and not just like get token? You know what I mean? Of course, Go just has a Windows token, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll say p handle get token, and we'll make this like a private function. And then so get, I know private in C, but right, so we'll just make this like a get token Windows, just to even more, and enforce the point that this really is supposed to be only used on Windows. And then I think we'll make a generic function of like all the things that we have to do, and then getting like the process, right? Because if we look at the common, right, this, right, so we have token privileges and then adjust token privileges. So that, what that is doing is we're requesting the privileges in both suspend state and exit. So that's what we need, is to request privileges. But then if I go back to the original, I guess I'm going to have to go to metatoml and just open the original. If we go to common Linux, for example, right, we're not really using privileges anywhere, if that makes any sort of sense. But we're like looking up everything that we need to do, right? So if I go to say shutdown Linux, right, shutdown Linux has a bunch of these. Wow, okay, I guess I didn't really look at like all the shutdown arguments, because Linux uses a dbus, which I'm not too familiar with myself. Yeah. For the range, and then systemcdl hibernate. Oh, so in Linux they are just running a command. That is fucky. That's weird. Alright, so name has owner, dbus send, get session ID. Yeah, so these are like different things that like Linux uses that Windows doesn't. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, is like I don't think that I can really make this as generic as humanly possible unless I run a process. Unless I go as like low level as humanly possible and like factor out everything. So I think I'm just gonna get like the different Windows commands and like make it so that we can essentially have a generic type instead of having everything cohesively together as just, this is what Windows needs, this is what Linux needs, this is what Mac needs, you know? Like, I think that just kind of creating more a generic type is going to make this better. Okay, so then let's stop yapping and not use that, right? So it's control page up, right? Yeah, it's control page up. Okay. So I think just get token is what I'm getting at, right? Yeah. I don't think get process can fail. Can it fail? Can get process fail? Sudo handle need not be closed when it's no longer needed. Calling and closing with sudo handle has no effect. Is duplicate. Okay. All right. So I don't need to like. Okay, that's fine. Right. So then now we're gonna get a token, and we are going to say that we need the current process, right? So what does this return? A Boolean. Okay, so this is a Boolean, and we're going to say open process. Why are we not getting any? Oh, because it, I guess token, right? Yeah, token, or no. This is a, right, so how do we get the token? Okay, so that's getting the token. I don't know, maybe do you just want to, like, have the token be the token, you know what I mean? Instead of get token windows, because you don't really need to get the token. I think this can be just, like, request privilege, or, no, yeah, okay, so I think get token. Right? So I think we can just return, or no. Okay, so this will be p handle, which is result. Right? Or no. Okay, so I know, because of the lifetimes, because this is a pointer to p handle, so this is a pointer to a, we're going to say void, and we're going to make that an out parameter. So we're going to say, we don't want to, like, do, like, a local variable or nothing. Get token. I guess, right, so that'll just be the out handle. So we'll do p handle token. Right, and we'll just say if null is equal to token, if printf to standard error, cannot pass in, cannot set a null token. Sure. And then exit with 1. Oh, okay, I misspelled instead error. All right, so that's null checking, and then we'll say, an ingrown hair that's bothering me. Right, so that'll be your token, and then you'll pass in, I guess, the address of token, right? Because we'll say we don't need a return. So this is just open, right? So bool result is equal to open process token, which takes in current process. And then we have the desired access. What is the desired access? We have token adjust privileges, or token query. I think these are in Windows. I'm pretty sure they're in Windows. Does that work? What's the error here? Too few arguments in function call. Desired access. Okay. Oh, and then the address of token. I think that works. If not results, then if we're kind of just gonna copy this and change the message. I think that works. Cannot obtain token of current process, and I believe LD is the error code, and we're just going to get last error. Okay, and then common. All right, let's see here. Incompatible pointer types. Ooh. Okay, maybe just token. Does that fix? It does. Okay. And then run. Right, so we don't run anything. That's fine. Okay, so, and then, so that's the token. And then I believe, what else are we getting? So we're looking up the privilege value. Okay, so token.privilege out attributes. Okay. Token privileges. Okay, so look up token privilege value. Okay. So look up token privilege value. Okay. See shutdown name. Okay, so that's something we gotta do. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll say, what does this return? UTF-16 pointer from string. A pointer to uint16. Alright, that's something I have to look up. Windows... is UTF-16 pointer from string. Okay, so I think just maybe look up privilege value, right? So Windows look up privilege value. Right, so we get the system name and the name, LPC stir, a pointer to a node that specifies the name of the privilege as defined in the winint header file. For example, parameter could specify the constant SE security name or its corresponding string SE security. So can I just get SE like shutdown name? Is that just a thing? Right? Privilege value, I guess, example. I just want to see like how I would use this. SE debug. Okay, so if I do like I guess I'll just do it in this function. So we'll say look up privilege name, right? Look up privilege value. And if we do null, and we'll say SE, what is it? Shutdown privilege. Shutdown name, right? Yeah, SE shutdown name. That's what we're looking at. Yeah. Okay. And then the UID. Okay, so we don't need to get the name. We can just use SE shutdown name. Okay. That makes life a lot easier. And I think we're gonna kind of do the same for get token windows as we have been doing for like get token for like get privileges. So we'll say get privilege windows, which is, I believe, so we say token privileges, look up privilege value, token, right? So what is token privileges? LUID, but how do we get the LUID? Structure that receives the result. Okay, so let's privilege content constant privilege required. Oh, so it's an out parameter. Okay, so here's, all right, so let's duplicate and we'll search for lookup privilege value. Oh, there's a link here. I could just click. God, I'm dumb. So system name is optional in LP name LP LUID. A pointer to a variable that receives a privilege is known. This is to specify the LP system name parameter. Function returns non-zero. Okay, sure. Privilege contents, which are what we have here. Privilege required. Okay, so if I just do like a pointer to like privileges, does that make any sort of sense? I wonder if I could just like write this in assembly. This might be something that I can do in assembly. Just, you know, hypothetically. Okay. By which the privilege is known on the system, specify the LP system name, but we're not specifying the LP system name. Receives the locally unique identifier, right? Used on a specified system to locally represent the specified privilege name. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay, so... Alright. So I think I'm just going to return an LPUID. Privileges. I think I'm spelling that right? Okay, so LPUID, what is the type? PLUID. Oh, okay. Right? That is the Windows type, correct? Oh, PLUID. There you go. Okay, so that's the Windows type. And then, right, so to get the privileges are just, we say, if not, look up right, and then where's the token used other than just here? Right, we're gonna match case and whole word. So just the token is used elsewhere, but we're gonna do that in a few other. Okay, so then I think what I need to do is get the token passed in, right? So we'll say privileges, but we'll also say a p handle token. Yeah, okay. Because then when we use the token in we don't need the token for privileges. We need token to adjust. So we don't even need the token for this, which is fair enough. Right, okay. So that's just get privileges, right? And then look up privilege value of null and SE shutdown name, and then this will be privileges, right? Is it the address of privileges? What is PLUID? Is that a pointer? That is a pointer. Okay, so we'll just say privileges. Then we're going to exit one. We're going to fail because it can't get the privileges. So fprintf, a standard error, cannot obtain privileges of current process. I think that's a fair enough exit value. And I think it just sets that. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. And then what else do I need to do? I have, so we look up the privilege value, right? So privileges, right, so Windows token privileges, that's an array, LUD attributes. But if I go to here, high part, low part. Like, okay, so this is a PLUD. Okay, and then again, I'm going to colon %LD. It's a long pointer. Get last error. Just in case. Yeah. Oh, all right. Because right, so I think that's just what it has. Oh, so wait, is it an LUD? Good question. All right, and then we'll just go to. I think that's just fine. Yeah, that's got to be fine. Yeah. And then we set the privilege count. Set the privilege count. Okay, so adjust token privileges. I'm going to look that up. Windows adjust token privileges. All right, so let's look at the documentation. Let's see. Token handle. Okay, so I do need a token. So then we'll say void adjust privileges, which is going to take in our token, right? What do I need? The token false, the token privileges bullshit. And then 0 0 0, right? Okay, so that's fine. Is Windows SE privilege enable? But then, right? So if I have token privileges enabled, LUID and then attributes. Okay, so this doesn't map 1-to-1 to like C, which is a little concerning. Adjust token privileges of privileges only to be assigned. I guess, can I do example? If I could spell, that'd be amazing. Right? So we look up the privileges. And then we say, okay, so TP, what is TP? Token privileges. Okay, is that like... Alright, so let's not pass anything in right now. So we'll say token privileges. Okay. Right, so that's a local stack variable. And it's not used to look up, but we're going to set everything. Okay, so that's what token privileges here is for. Okay. Which is the LUID. Ah, okay. Aha, I think I understand here. So token privileges, right? And then we do, we're gonna say, so this is now our privileges. Privilege, check, privileges. I think I spelled a lot wrong, so I'm gonna, wherever I spelled privileges wrong, just kind of fix that. There you go. I never said I really could spell correctly, you know? Right, so privilege count is 1. I guess, okay, so what I could do is do void set privileges. Set privileges. And we're going to say token privileges and privileges. And we're going to say privileges dot privilege count. All right, is this a pointer? No, I think we need pointer access, which is, okay, so privileges, privilege count is 1. And privileges, privileges at 0 is equal to LUID. Okay, so then PLUID, which is going to be the privileges. UID, which is going to be the privileges identity, is equal to the privileges identity. And then attributes. What are my attributes? SE privileges is enabled. Okay. Dot LUID. Value cannot be assigned. Oh, okay. So then we'll dereference that. And then we'll say privileges at 0 dot attributes are equal to SE, right? What is it? SE privilege enabled. Is that right? And we can kind of separate the responsibilities of everything. Yeah. So we get the token privileges of the LUID. Okay, all right, so that's fine. And then, right, so we have our token privileges, right? And then we say, then we have our we have our LUID privilege identity. And then we'll say set, or get privileges windows, right? And then we'll say this is privilege windows, which can fail. And we'll say it is the address of privileges identity. There we go. So that is our privileges identity. And then we set the privileges. And we say that is the token, or no, that's the privileges. And then we have the privilege identity of identity. There you go. Okay. Because we're looking up the value, which is the privileges, so it sets that, and then we're setting the privileges identity. I think that's right, because we look up the value and it sets, the LUID, which is exactly what we want, right? So it sets the LUID because of that pointer, right? And then it sets everything else. Okay. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. All right, because I think it, like, so that is the same. as the lookup value. Right? Yeah. Okay, I think that'll work. I hope that'll work. So then everything is set, and then we want to adjust token privileges, which takes in our token. So now we need a token, which is a p handle. Or I guess maybe a handle, is it, right? I think it's just, yeah, it's just a handle. Windows token is just a handle. Okay, so we have a handle, and that's going to be our token. That's going to be stack allocated for now. And then we'll adjust token privileges, right? Or no, because we still have to get the token, right? Get token windows, which is the token, the address of the handle. And then we'll do so we have the token, right? And then what we do is we do adjust adjust privileges. What does it take in? Okay, so it returns a bool, and then if not adjust token privileges, right? Adjust token privileges, right? Okay. Which takes in our token. I guess it copies the token. Sure. Then we need false. And then new state, which is the token privileges. Okay, so privileges. A pointer to token privileges, right? And then buffer length. Buffer length, I believe we have 0, and then just nulls. Okay. Null and null. We're gonna say, we're just gonna copy this, I guess. Cannot adjust privilege of current process. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. And then, I guess, suspended state. Okay. So I think just the easier one is going to be exit windows. Now, right, okay, so we're nearing the end. We are nearing the end of, I think, right, because we still have to do exit windows and then set suspended state. So I don't really have a way of testing this, because if I test this and it works, it's going to shut down my computer, i.e. end stream. So my little fix for that, so to speak, is I have my, here, let's go to full screen here, is I have my laptop here, and we're kind of just going to do like an SSH file copy. Then we're going to run it on my laptop. It's going to shut down my laptop if it succeeds. If it fails, we'll go through the errors. So, yeah. Well, no, right, so it's not going to shut down if it succeeds, but it's definitely going to change the state of the laptop. Hopefully. So, where were we? Right, okay, so I guess exit Windows, right? So flag, right? So if I go to flag, let's just do shutdown, I guess, because I think, yeah, windows.ewx shutdown is the flag. Okay, what is the type of flag here, right? So we need, so just uint32. Okay, so let's go to Windows, exit Windows. in C. Yeah, I know. Okay, so I know there's like an exit function, but exit windows macro is what we are, I think, using, correct? Exit windows EX. I'm going to say exit windows EX. Haha. Exit window sex. That's funny. I'm a full-grown adult with a family. You know what I mean? I am a full-grown adult with a family. I'm still laughing at sex. Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe my mind is just still on vacation time, which, fair enough. Okay, so then we'll say exit Windows extension. Yeah, so a flag, right? So the flag is of type uint. Okay, so in C, what is a Windows uint? Uint. It is just an unsigned integer. Okay. Maybe can I make my own enum and pass it in? Because these, I don't know. Okay. So now we're kind of getting into like command territory, right? We're getting into command territory. So I think this is going to be a public function, and right, so here, it kind, or you know what, here, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, instead of making these void functions, we're going to return a Boolean. Right? Yeah, I think that's okay if that crashes there. And then I think I'm just going to return this. Right? So I think, and I'll comment that out just in case I want to like reinstate that logic. That's fine. That doesn't really do anything. We're going to do a Boolean, and I think I'm just going to do this, and we're going to say, whoops, return lookup privilege value null se shutdown, and that is privileges. Right, so now we have if this doesn't work. Okay, I'm definitely fucking sinking. Yeah, I am. It was sinking. I apologize for essentially sticking my nuts in the camera's face. Then we can say this. Right? Because that's where we're using it. And then I think this is going to be a Boolean. Right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, and then we'll just return true. Or seal. You know what? No. I think we're just gonna return false. And then that's just gonna be like the error. Yeah, okay. So actually what I can do is, nope, VS Code's being a little, I guess if not, VS Code's being a little bitch, and we'll return false. Oh, that, okay, so that doesn't need to be a Boolean type, my bad. Okay, and then get privilege token, if not. Maybe I should create like a pipeline pattern for this. I don't know. And then just if not, we're gonna comment this logic out and return false. I think that's fine. And then adjust privileges, else return true, right? Yeah, I think that's fine. Right, so then what I'm gonna do is say, I guess bool shutdown, right? And then bool force, right? So I think I'll just do bool exit windows. Excuse me. Exit windows, and then I guess that, so that's just gonna take an unsigned int flag. Or, right, okay, so a uint. Well, I don't like windows and their sort of, whatever fuck conventions for naming and variables and types. It's fucked. Like it doesn't look clean at all, but I guess, you know, why not? Yeah, I'll just, because I'm writing this specifically compiling for Windows. So I think we're just gonna do that, yeah. So then I can kind of just copy this, because it's a long one. I'm not gonna, okay. I'm not like gonna like type it out or nothing. So all these windows can get deleted, and I'll add a little space. Whoops. Right? Okay, yeah. Because then, so, okay, so this is one parameter. And then this is another parameter. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Yes, okay. And then what does this return? A Boolean. Okay, so if this, if not, then return false. And I believe that's it, correct? Well, we have to request privileges. Okay, so if not, and then I think I could just turn these into else ifs, because they're grouped together. Yes, okay, all right, so I think that's the only else if I can get out of that. And that's gonna be else if, and then we'll say return true. Because that's, yeah, so it's if, else, else. You're just handling the three main conditions, which is fine. Add just privileges, which does not take in anything. Is that correct? Yes. And there's no global state. So these are pure functions, more or less. Kinda. It's all self-contained. Okay. Right, because request privileges. Yeah. Okay. Return false. Yeah, okay. And then shutdown, of course, is going to take return, right? So then we need to, or shut down Windows, sorry, yeah. Is, right? I don't know. I don't think we need to pass in force. So return exit Windows with, what is the flag? EWX shutdown. EWX shutdown. Okay. Okay, and then let me get my laptop. Ugh. All right. So it's going to be a little hard to see what it's doing, but I will try my best. This is the best solution I can do, given the fact that I'm only working on like one PC, and yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. Before I do that, oh yeah, okay. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Before I do that, let's go to the desktop, and we want to compile. So that's whoopsie, GCC. And then I just never call anything. So that's what we want to do. Is we want to say, I guess, shut down. Yeah. And then if not shut down, we want to say fprintf to standard error. Come on, fucking type. Can not shut down. Yeah, just cannot shut down, I think, and then a new line. Exit with a 1. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do it. And then we want to compile. We want to say gcc wall w extra. The standard is C17. Whoops. Come on. And we're going to be pedantic about it. And we're going to say, no, we're not going to enable optimizations right now. So we're just going to do O is main.exe and common C. Okay, we get one warning. ISOC for object pointer. Yeah, no, I'm well aware of that, but it shouldn't. Oh, that's okay. So that's in get process address. Okay, so we can chill with loader for right now. Okay, so here we go. Standard. Oh, okay. So I need whoopsie. Include stdio. What else do I need to include? Nothing. Okay, awesome. And I don't want to run it just yet. But okay, so now we can get the laptop. We're going to enter password. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so it should all be collected. Oh, I did something, didn't I? Source pose. Yes, I did. Okay. Shut down. Okay. So I can delete that. Yeah. Okay, so I want to CD to the desktop. We on full screen? We are not. Okay, so let's do that again. I'm well aware I'm on full screen. I'm going to try my best to show everything going on. Awesome. Right, okay, so then we're going to go to... and then, okay. So is this showing up? I guess, okay, so I have my stream manager here. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the best I'm going to be able to do. But right, so let's just do dot slash common right here. Okay, so let's actually type this. Give me a second. COMMON. I think that'll work, right? Okay, so then here, let's check the stream manager. Yep. Okay, so this should kill my laptop. Ready? Common is not. Okay, so let's do dot slash. Oh, all right. Maybe I gotta open this in VS Code. Let's see. Okay, so we'll do. Or no, actually, yeah, we just need to press start and then dot slash common. Okay, yeah. So that'll launch an application. Is this being shown? Let's hope this is being shown. Okay, so this should kill my laptop. Let's see, Windows cannot find dot slash common. All right, so let's see. Oh, because it's main. Dirt. Because we compiled for main. Okay, so this should work. Right, this should now kill my laptop. And there we go! Shutting down. Okay. So this works. Awesome. It's getting Windows ready. Oh, it's working on updates. Okay, never mind. All right, but it shut down my computer. So okay, so we have working thing. I do have some like important Windows tabs open on my laptop. So I'm gonna have to like reopen those. But yeah. You know, okay. But we have a working state, so this works. So now we can kind of just clean shit up. Okay, yeah. So it shut down, as you can see. It shut down. So let me just sort of get my Windows tabs back up. Yeah. And then fix my chair every couple of minutes. Just gotta fix the chair. Gotta do what I gotta do. All right. So my laptop's starting back up. But yeah, so we have like a working state, which is great. I love this. We've essentially ported the Go code to C, right? Which is just excellent. Uh-oh. Okay, it's restarting for another update. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done this. We'll find out. Oh, it's doing like multiple updates. My laptop. Okay, maybe I didn't update it in a while. This is interesting. But yeah, so we have a working state. You know, I think I'm just gonna like work on the rest of the application so I don't bore the shit out of my audience. I mean, that ship, I believe, has oh, no, actually, it came back. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let me just log back in and try and restore my laptop state. I should have probably thought of this before I decided what to do today, but it's fine. You know, the important Google tabs that I had open, believe it or not, was not pornography. It's a joke. No, I do not want to. No, yeah, okay. No, it was just some Google tabs for like songs and shit like that. So I'm gonna see if I can restore the state. Because because I should be able to, as far as I know. Yes. Okay. All right. I can restore the state, so that's fine. That's all good. Everything is back up and running. I'm not too mad. Right. Okay, so that's fine. I can delete that. Yeah. Okay. So now all my startup apps are going, so I can put the laptop away. But yeah, okay. So we have a Windows shutdown program, essentially. This works. Yeah. Right, okay, so I think, right, so, we're gonna say process T current process, just to make this a little bit more robust. Or I think we'll just say process, right? And that's gonna equal current process. And if process invalid, do I need to pass a pointer to that? Oh, okay. If process invalid, no, that does not need a pointer. Okay, process. Then I believe return false. And we could just inline this, return false. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we have a working application. Right, so now what we need to do is do the rest. So we have our common setup, and I think what I can do is really to kind of hammer home the portability of this is maybe make like, I guess like make like headers, like split this into headers, I think is probably the best way to do this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's split this into headers. So let's do include. One ND Pawn, first time chat. What's up, man? How you doing? Did you just join the stream? You all right? Includes is, let's see. What you working on? We're working on a. So I found a project a while ago that essentially it does different shut off commands for Windows, Linux, and Mac. And I kind of wanted to work on it, and like refactor it, and then realized it would be much easier to do it in C, because of like, DLL loading, and like it would just it'd just be. So we're essentially refactoring a way to shut down, a robust way of shutting down, hibernating, rebooting, and sleeping Windows. Tall order, I know, that's why the stream's been going on for almost 2 hours. So yeah. So like right now we have a working state essentially. So now I'm just kind of like splitting it up into like header files and making it look nice and neat. I mean, was that a decent explanation of like, did you get what we're working on, or all right. So I think I'm just going to move on to making this into includes, which is probably going to be, do we want to make like a common H? Like how do I want to split this up is essentially what I'm thinking of, a little bit, so a program that can universally shut, yeah, kind of, like a way to shut down that's OS dependent, I guess. Or that's not OS dependent. So like we're doing the Windows version right now, but I do have plans to make it okay. So In the original implementation, there was like Windows, Linux, and Mac, and like it was just a mess. So I thought like I'd rewrite it, and that's what we're doing today. So how do we want to split this? Do I just kind of want like, do I just kind of want to make like a common? Do I want to make it like the original, or because I think that like. I don't know, just making like a like an include that's better than common. You know, common's such a generic name. You know, maybe like process, I guess. I don't know. I've been doing some Rust stuff recently. Oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah. I was thinking of doing like a learning Rust stream eventually. So like, what kind of stuff in Rust are you doing? I'm using the Raylib library to work on making it. Okay, all right, that's cool. What what kind of game are you making? I guess I can chill out while I'm and like listen and like read chat just while I'm sort of thinking about like how to split this up. Because I kind of like it's a poker type game. Oh, awesome. That sounds cool. So is it like a Balatro almost, or is it like I don't know. My mind's kind of thinking about what that could entail. Okay, all right. So I think that like maybe I think just like common H or like functions maybe is probably the best way to like use this. You know, like I could just make like yeah, like I think maybe just calling it common because I can't really think of like a better way of doing this. Well, not exactly Balatro, but I love Balatro, so I wanted to make a card game. Oh yeah, well, all right. Be like regular poker where you dealt 2 cards and there'll be community cards and stuff with power-ups and oh, okay, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. I would are you like streaming the development? Because that sounds like something I might want to watch. Like that genuinely sounds interesting. I'm not like blowing smoke or anything. Or you just making the game like it's, you know, especially like in Rush. Not currently, but I could stream it. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds genuinely interesting. I don't know. You know, here, I'll give you a little follow, because that does sound like something I might want to watch. There. Okay, so I just followed your channel. I think you should stream it. That sounds like something legitimately like that might be something like I want to watch. My mic isn't the best, so I'll have to figure out something for that maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So let's get back to what we're doing here. So I think just like I don't know, maybe common or like privileges would be probably the best way to make a header of this. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm also gonna make I'll be right back. Take your time, man. So I think like current process might be the best way of doing that. Like and we'll say process because then we'll do the checking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. So let's just do common.h. Because I don't really, I can't really think of a better name for this. So I think we're just going to do all of this. And I think we can also do include tracing. Right? So we'll do end if this is the win32 check. Win32. And then we'll also do end if, and then we'll do the include guard, which will be common H. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So then we'll do if def common h, or if n def, sorry. If not defined, then define common h. Okay, and then so I think current process. I'm back. I need to feed my cat because she was hungry. Aw, that's nice. that's always a valid excuse. I have to feed the cat. You know, that's nice. Okay, so I think current process, and then process and vet. Right. So then I have to. What do I want to make public here? I guess, right, exit windows, right? Or like, yeah, maybe I should make like exit. Yeah, so I think that'll be the public API. Yeah, okay. So that'll be the public API. So then we'll say end if common h. And so we'll say bool, I guess, exit, which will take in an unsigned int flag, and that's how we'll use this library, and then everything else will kind of just be under this, right? So then what I can do is do that, right? And then yeah, what I can do is do if, oh, okay, so we're gonna put Windows down here. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, so we're gonna if def win32. We're gonna include Windows, and then so that'll be all our Windows tokens, which is fine. Right now I'm at the point where I'm generating random cards and then drawing them to the screen. Okay, yeah. So like basic UI shit. That's, yeah, that's cool. That sounds awesome. I mean, like, it sounds like something that just me personally would love to watch. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna exit Windows. I think, right. So we're gonna do. So this is gonna be end if Windows, and then we'll say Boolean exit, right? So this will be if def common implementation. Right, did I spell implementation? Yep, okay. And then that'll be down here of end if. Okay. And then exit is going to be if def win32 and if, whoops, win32, we're gonna say exit Windows with a flag. Okay, so unsigned int flag. Windows, and that's going to be the flag. And then we're going to say else. We're just going to error for right now. And we'll say, where is it in the common? Here. Current, not current process, we'll say exit is only supported on Windows. Awesome. Okay, so that's good. That's going to be the public API of this. Is just it's going to be an unsigned flag, right? And then I think what I can do is just delete this. I'm pretty sure. Right? But first, ooh, what did I do? Okay, so that's new window. I didn't mean to do that. Right? Yeah, I don't have any other VS Code instances open. Alright, well, let's just control KW and get rid of that. So those are my includes. And then I kind of want to do maybe in command maybe shutdown. Shutdown.c. And then we can like include common, right? Yeah. And then that's the way we can do it. And then shut down, right? Or yeah. So then we'll do commands.h, I think, right? Is that going to conflict with kata? Because kata has command. No, okay. So that's good. So we'll define common, right? How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this is the big question. Maybe dot commands, right? Because we have... Oh. Something I didn't do is load a DLL, right? Oh, excuse me. So we want to go to common C, right? And just kind of delete everything almost. Not processes. But that is definitely something that I want to delete. So we can kind of get rid of that. And then what we don't have process. So that's something I definitely want to do, is we now have processes, right? Okay, so then instead of loader, we're going to do common implementation. We're going to define and then includes common.h. And then just see what I'm missing, right? So we're gonna compile. All right. Of course, right? So we need include std bool, because C doesn't have any fucking bools for some goddamn reason, even though every other language does. And then conflicting types. Ooh. Oh, yeah, because it conflicts with standard library shit. I guess system exit? Maybe is that probably the best way of doing it? System exit? Yeah. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Let's see if that still... okay, so that gets rid of that error. And then fatal error, no such file... That's right, because we have to do, it is in the parent directory. I didn't mean to open another. All right, so there's more errors now. So implicitly, okay, so now I guess I can include stdio, which gets me fprintf. Standard error. And just a warning, where does it reach the end of control flow? Return, I believe. that going to get rid of that? Yes, it is. Okay. So that's all the warnings that I have. Okay. And include common H. Right. So now we're going to go to commands. If and oh, no. No, what we're going to do is then we're going to say bool suspend state, I believe. Right? Yeah. Because in the original, the other common function that is used is set suspend state, and that's used in sleep and I believe hibernate. Yeah. Reboot does not. Yeah, reboot and that use Windows. Okay. Cancel. Okay. So suspend state, I believe that's fine. And what does it use in the original common Windows? Whoops. I meant to do control B. Hibernate. Bool. Okay. Okay. So that's going to be a little different. Right? Set suspend state. Yeah, okay, so I think that's gonna load a DLL for me, right? Okay, so what is declaration must declare parameter? Oh. Void. Is that gonna work? Why is this still a declaration here must declare parameter? But this isn't a This isn't a fucking declaration. I don't get what the problem is. Okay. Oh, because, alright, so we didn't add that. Okay, my bad. And this is gonna be void. So we have suspend state. Right, I think, okay, so what I'm gonna do is, it really only has the one DLL. So I think what I'm gonna do is just say, I guess void, right? Void pointer, load DLL, right? Yeah, just, I think just load DLL. I think that's fine as being a part of the public API. Well, no, I think that'll be a part of the Windows API. Yeah. So we're gonna do, yeah, okay, so I think that's fine being a part of the Windows API. So that's what we're gonna do down here. Is we're going to void pointer load DLL, or I guess load library. And I don't really need a path necessarily, right? Yeah. Oh, this is also a part of Windows. Okay. I can delete this. Right. Okay. So I think that's just gonna be right. So then in common Windows, I'm gonna delete all these here right now. So right, I think in common Windows, right? So we request, or no. We just load the DLL, right? Which is where the loader comes in, which is in common C. Let's collapse all these folders here. Which is where loader comes in. So let's add in loader. And so this will return our library, right? And we'll say define power DLL name, and that is power prof DLL, whatever the hell that means. And we'll say I guess, yeah, okay, so void star right? Yeah, void star library is equal to library load power DLL name. And yeah, so power DLL name, and then if null, oops, come on, is equal to library, we can, you know what, actually, I think what I'm going to do is say this is going to be a Boolean if it succeeds, and then we'll say void star library. Or, I don't know, maybe result. No. We'll say library for the parameter, but we'll say result for the variable. So that's library. And that is a result. Okay, that's fine. Turn false. Else library is equal to results. Or hold on, let's make a double pointer. And then what points to library is, and then we'll return true. Yeah. Can I do that? Is that possible? I believe so. Yeah, okay. And then load function, which is I guess function name, but we already have the function name, right? Set suspend state. Okay, so maybe this won't take in any parameters, right? Or no, we'll say we'll type def suspend, right? So what is set suspend state, right? So set suspend state, Windows set suspend state. Oh, all right, we already have it. Oh, duh. So it's a function that returns a Boolean. Okay. So it's a function that returns a Boolean. How many O's can we give that? Suspend state type. And then takes in 3 Booleans. Okay. Fair enough. So this is going to return a suspend state type. So that's a function pointer. Yeah. Suspend state type. So hibernate value. Okay, yeah, and then that's going to return a pointer to that function, and that's going to be loader, or no, this is going to be a suspend state type pointer, right, or suspend state type, which is going to be results, and is equal to library function. And that's gonna take it. Oh, that also needs the library. Fuck. I'm also gonna make these private functions as well. So I need the library. Okay, maybe yeah, just a void pointer library. library, and then the name, define, yes, set state function name is this. Suspend state function name is set suspend and we also need to cast this because the library function returns a void pointer. Sorry, I just got a text message. So if null is equal to result, then we're just going to return, whoops, false. Else function, what is pointed to by function, is equal to result, and return true. Right, I think that works. Yeah. Okay. And then we of course need to delete the library, which is fine. So that's how we're gonna do that, and then set suspended state, and then I guess hibernate, right? Because we need to call it. Yeah, and then calling it based off a specific value. Okay, and then we'll say, I guess, systems, right, suspend state. So, okay, so I guess bool hibernate. And that's what we can do, is we can do, we can kind of copy this. And we'll say, is it suspend state? Yeah. Suspend state. And this is going to take in a Boolean of hibernate. And we say, what we're going to do is, if not load library, right, so we say void star library is equal to, we'll say library, turn false, else if, and this is going to be suspend state. It's only supported on Windows. Okay, so maybe this can be a double pointer, and then we'll dereference that, just due to like lifetimes and shit like that. So then else if not load function, which is the address of library, and the suspended state function, which is a suspended state type function, and that'll do, or I guess what I could do is do like a just to keep this clean, func suspend state Windows and Boolean hibernate, and it can essentially do this. And load function of function, right? That's what we're doing. Yep. And we'll say return suspend state windows hibernate. Awesome. Just to keep all the responsibilities clean and everything. Return false. So we have our function and we have our, so then we're going to call it with hibernate and then just 0, 0, I guess, right? And then we can return the value of calling that function with hibernate and then 0, 0. I believe that is what happens. In fact, I'm pretty sure, right? Because we just call it, excuse me. Yeah. All right. Okay, yeah, that works. As far as I know, that's 1-to-1, which is good, right? And then, so instead of common dots, so I think I'm just gonna make, or no, all right. So we'll say that common is gonna be our main file for now, right? And then we'll just say bool shut down. Well, actually, no, we're gonna do hibernate or sleep, sure. And what is sleep in the original? Sleep in the original is just suspend state false. Okay. So then we'll say suspend state. Right, and then we need to make all of this, all of these define private. F2 home. To make all of these private, and then there you go. And I think that's fine. Okay. And then suspend state, which needs a bool hibernate, which is false. Okay. And then we can, I guess, uncomment this, and instead of shutdown, say sleep, or I guess, well, yeah, system sleep, so we don't conflict with any sort of system bullshit. Cannot sleep, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then I want to compile this for main, see if that works. We do not have loader. Yes, okay, because it is in the parent directory. So compile. Okay, so that's in loader. That's fine. Okay, so suspended state result. Conversion of object pointer to function type pointer. What are you on? Oh, control reaches flow, reaches end of, okay, so we'll return. Sorry, that's fine. Okay, and then forbids conversion of object pointer to function pointer type. But it is a function pointer. Right? What are you, right? C function pointer. Yeah. Okay. Not entirely sure what to do here. Yeah, you know what? I think that's just fine. I'll keep the warning. It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go to the laptop. Let's see if we can make my laptop sleep. So let's go to full screen, and I am going to, whoops, that's not the correct, okay, and then I guess I have to put in this entire command again. I pre-did this command and then realized, oh yeah, the file copy command, SCP, and then realized, oh yeah, once I restart, it's gonna be deleted anyway, which is a reason to invest in tmux, but whatever. Shut down. Okay, it's just copying everything over. Awesome, 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 awesome. And then we want to go into the folder we just copied over, and we want to start /main. And right, okay, so let's see if this is showable on the stream. Can you all see that shit right here? So if this works, this should just make my laptop sleep. And enter. Nothing. Okay. So, this should work. Right, and I'm just checking to make sure we have, yep, so system sleep. Okay, all right. Well, let's see why this is not working then. All right, let's see why this is not working. So exit works, so we don't have to look at that. Let's go back to our desktop. Hibernate, and I think I can just call this function, right? And suspend state. Okay, here, all right, so let's see. So when I just ran that command, I'm going to try and echo the last error code. How do we do that in command prompt? CMD last error code. Oh, isn't it just like error level or whatever? Yeah, it's error level. Okay. So let's see. Echo error level 0. Okay, so it exited with success. Which is a problem because it's not sleeping. So, and I guess I could just write like return 1. Right, so we suspend state. That's interesting. Hibernate. Okay, so let's, I guess, print F before. Let's just add a bunch of debug prints, and then we'll compile. Yeah, ISO C, I don't really know how to... Maybe a pointer? Do I add a pointer here? And then that's equal to the address. Maybe that's the problem? That is worse. right? And we'll add it, so I guess we'll add a double pointer here, and then a function of here, and then we'll have to dereference this and then call it. Yeah, but that's in loader. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that made any difference, right? Or I guess maybe I could just do if, or right. So we'll do I guess right. What is set suspend? So hibernate, but that's a Boolean. Right, okay, so so we'll do a Boolean, right, I guess? Which is, I'm gonna say value if hibernate value is equal to 1. Else value is equal to 0, and that's going to use value, I guess. Oh, I forgot a semicolon. Okay. All right, and now let's copy over what we just constructed. Putting in my password. Whoopsie. Okay, it's just copying over. Yeah. Okay. And now let's see if we run it. So okay, so this should make my laptop sleep. Right, all right, so we have a laptop open. This is the best way I can do this without, like, closing stream. Nothing. Okay, all right. So then I'll get the error level, I guess, 0. Huh. That is very interesting. But it's not printing anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's not printing it. It's supposed to either print before or some sort of value. You know what I mean? Okay, so then we'll say we're going to printf here. Let's go back to our desktop. We're going to printf here the function. And just as like a debug print. And then we're going to printf here library. Because I kind of know what I'm doing. That's the thing, right? And yeah, okay, so this... Like, I can reason about this application and know kind of what it's doing. That's why I'm not using a debugger at the moment. But, you know, yeah. That's weird. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's very weird. Okay, so let's compile. And then I guess I'll copy over what's on my laptop. And I see we got a new follower. That is 1ndpawn. Thanks for the follow, man. Just making sure I don't miss the activity. Okay, and then we'll go to full screen again, see if this works. And we hit enter, nothing. Doesn't even print. Okay. But it runs. That's kind of the thing, is it runs. So, like, if I just click on the application, nothing happens. Okay, and then error level, of course, is 0. Alright, that's a little weird. Okay. But everything else works. So that's kind of what the problem is like everything else works and it's not printing our debug here. So this is just not being called. Right? Because if I'm just going to printf and say called, right? And then let's compile. Right? Includes common. And that works. And then we'll copy over what we have. The code on GitHub in a couple of minutes. I'm just doing some cleaning. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check out your code after the stream. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a little refactor of it on stream. You know, maybe we can make it like look cleaner. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Okay, so we just copied over what we have to the laptop. And now let's run it again. And let's see if this works. No, yeah, so we don't get any print messages. And the laptop still says 0. So this function is not being called. Which is concerning. Okay. Right, because we're compiling for common C, right, which is this file here. And then we have includes common, suspend state. And we go to suspend state, it's here. It's hibernate, so we pass that in. This function is not even being called. Oh, I guess, is it because this is not in Windows? Maybe should I just put it in the Windows? It's possible. Alright, so we just compiled. I don't get any new warnings. So let's copy over again. Oh, and I fixed my chair because it's fucking sinking, like the Titanic. And then and nothing gets called. Okay. And of course the error level is 0. Nothing gets printed, nothing gets called. Okay. So that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Right, because set suspend state function name. And if it can't find the function, it should return false. Maybe do a dereference false. Function pointer to object pointer. I do not give less of a shit. Right, so that's process, so far process. Maybe can I remove this and then just return it? Does that still work? And void pointer. Yeah, okay, so no. All right, here as a test. This is what we're going to do as a test. So we're gonna, right now I'm setting up corresponding colors for wetsuit card. Okay. I don't have to keep reading that. So if, how long have we been going for? Almost 3 hours? Okay, oh. And I forgot to be on the desktop, so that's lovely. All right, so if, I think we're just gonna like load the DLL directly. So I think if we go just to, so if we say void pointer, and we say this is a, or no, this is the library. And that is equal to library load. And this is the power prof DLL. Which is in Windows settings, so it should like load it, right? Or hold on a second, right? So we're gonna say path, and we would like to do include path. Yeah, maybe it's just not finding the DLL. Maybe that's what it's looking for. You know what I mean? Like maybe I need to construct the DLL path, which is very valid. Path implementation include build cata lib c path. Okay, so then we'll say path is equal to that DLL, or right, okay, so we'll say whoopsie, path from, and then we'll say printf sent us new line pastor, and we take a view into, whoops, view into the path. I cannot type today. And we're going to do that. And that does not call anything. Okay, unused variable, that's fine. Okay, and then we'll say /main. Cannot load library. Okay, yeah, so that's the problem. So it cannot find the DLL. Okay. All right, that would have been nice to know about 15 minutes ago. But it's my fault, whatever. So where is powerprof.dll? Where is powerprof.dll? In system 32. That's interesting. Okay. But on 64-bit, I think just it's in system 32. Is there a way to get like system 32 in Windows System 32 in C? Get system directory. Okay. I can do that. Okay, so let's do char system path, I guess, yeah, which will be max path. That's just a buffer right now. I guess we could zero it out. It's in static memory, but we'll zero it out right now. And then we'll say void get system path. And that'll be right, so then we'll say get system directory is, okay, so get system time node directory, and that's system path, and I guess max path, because that's the length of the buffer, right? Yeah, and then so we'll say path t construct system or construct DLL path. Yeah. And we'll say const char name. And we'll return path from so we'll get system path. And then we'll return system path, and then, or right, okay, so then we'll say path root is equal to path from system path, and we'll say that a path append as, right? Yeah, path append as root and then name. I think that works. Yeah. Okay, and then that'll be construct DLL path. Name is this. And then so then we can do that. Yes. All right, we got it. Awesome. So we now know where the DLL is. Right? Now what I could have done is just added System32 to this, because System32 exists on most Windows systems, and I think that's what I'm going to do, but I just wanted to check out like if that actually works, right? So we're going to say system Windows right. Okay. So that should be fine for right now. Okay. So, you can comment that out, and we go back to system sleep. Right, and then so I can now compile, and oh, okay, I don't get any unused, which is good. And then let's copy it back to the laptop again. Putting in my password for SCP. Okay, copied over, and then we're gonna go to full screen now. And this should work now, because the problem was it wasn't finding the DLL. It wasn't looking in System32. My mistake. So now this should make my laptop sleep. It isn't, and we got called library before. Okay, and then it's just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. Alright, so, but it's printing everything. So everything looks to work, right? We just have to now sort of kind of fix things a little bit. So it's doing that, and then it's calling the function. Yeah. Which is interesting. You know, which is interesting. I'm not sure whether I want to, like... Alright, so suspend state and false, which is what this is doing. Set suspend state and false. Right, but set suspend state... Oh. Yeah, okay. So set suspend state also requests privileges. Maybe that's where I'm losing it. Okay, so adjust privileges, right? Because we have the common request privileges, which is what we just did, and then, yeah. That might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, okay. That might be why we're not doing anything. Which is valid, you know, that's valid. So, let's copy over again. This is gonna get annoying in like 3 seconds. I know it's getting annoying for me, so SCP unknown port. Oh, port closed. Okay. So let me just reopen the SCP port real quick. Sure. All right. So then, I'm well aware I'm still on full screen, by the way. Okay, it's copying over. It's thinking. Just fix my chair again because I feel like it's sinking, and it is. All right. All right. And now this should work as far as I know. Right? So where's the laptop? There it is. Okay. And so this should make my laptop sleep. Nope. And the error level is 0. Right? So let's see. Start main. I compiled everything, right? Let's compile again just to make sure. And then I'll copy over. Let's copy over and then nothing. Okay. Right, so it is the current process. All right. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Why do I not have anything? It's not even like printing anything. That's the thing. You know? I guess maybe because of called? Is that why this isn't working? And then we can copy over. Okay, I'm just copying shit on my laptop. I have it down so that so it doesn't like go on my back and everything. Yeah. And then I will run the program again, and nothing. Nothing's being printed. So I think here's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna end stream here, and then I'm gonna kind of debug so that I can just run it on this system, and I don't have to keep copying over to my laptop, so that it doesn't end stream in the middle of me doing shit. I think I'm going to end stream here. I'll run it on my main system, and I'll, like, debug everything. So we'll check shit out, is essentially what's going on. But we have somewhat of a working system. We can shut down. We can shut down, and we can reboot. We, however, cannot sleep nor hibernate right now. And also, it only works on Windows. I do have plans on making this a better, a more versatile application, i.e. allow for Linux and Mac compilation, et cetera, make this more versatile. But that's, if you want to check out the VOD of this, VOD is always in my Twitch channel links, as well as for the chatbot, you can always say !VOD, and it'll bring you to my channel. The VOD of this will probably be uploaded within 2 days. So, so hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I'll see everyone most likely either tomorrow about the same time, or within 2 days. So, stay safe. Peace.